Hello everyone, this is TJ coming to you with part 3 of the Financial IQ training module number 1. And in this part, we're going to show you how to correctly fill out a W-4 worksheet for single earners so that we can maximize your checks and be able to have you, keep more of your hard-earned money. Okay? And it begins with this worksheet that you can fill out and resubmit to your employer. Now in part 1, we covered the general tax benefits of a home-based business, where we showed you just by having a home-based business in addition to your job, you're able to claim tax deductions, for things that you would have normally done anyway. And it's pretty cool how we can do that, right? So we're going to show you how we can then take those tax deductions and be able to increase our withholding allowance in this worksheet to be able to increase the amount of money that you get in your checks. Okay. Now in part 2, we covered how to get more money into your peg checks, and in that particular example, we used the IRS Pub 15 to show you, right, based on how much money you make, right, and going from zero to a bigger number on the withholding allowances, how much more money will actually be added to your check, and it will show you specifically what the employer will withhold from your checks to be able to cover your income taxes. All right, so let's get started with this worksheet. Now, when you were hired by your employer, you filled out this particular portion of the worksheet, right? There's 2 of these worksheets on this W-4. This is the first one, and then there is a second one for people that have additional deductions, right? Okay, such as business deductions, for instance. Okay, so since most of these people fill out this one, let's focus on this one for now, right? Now, what we found is that most people, when they fill this out, they fill it out very conservatively because they want to make sure that enough money is being taken out of their checks to cover their income taxes. They don't want to fall short at the end of the year, right? So what most people do is they zero this thing out, okay? And they go in here and end up with 0 as the withholding allowance, and that allows the employer to be able to maximize the amount of money that they take out of your checks to cover the income taxes, so you feel comfortable that your taxes are covered for the year. Okay? So now that you have a home-based business, we're going to show you how to do this correctly and fill this out the right way. Okay? So we're going to go in here and redo this, and we're going to enter 1 here. Okay? And we're also going to enter 1 for yourself, 1 here, because you meet one of these criteria here. You're single and have only 1 job, etc. Okay, now rest of this is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to end up with zeros pretty much throughout most of the rest of this, right? You get down here to be a 0, okay, and then you'll end up with a 2 as your withholding allowance on worksheet 1, right? Okay, so now remember this number because we're going to use this to add to whatever we come up with in the next worksheet to add it together to come up with a total, right? Awesome. Okay, so now this is the worksheet on page 2 that most people do not fill out because they don't own a business of any kind, right? Okay, this allows you to be able to account for additional deductions and adjustments, and having a business allow you to have some additional deductions and adjustments, right? So we use some estimated numbers for the year, and we found this to be pretty conservative but pretty accurate. So we're going to use $16,000 as our standard number that we're going to put on line 1. Okay, on line 2, right? Basically, we're doing this whole worksheet for single earners, right? So we're going to subtract 6,300 here, okay, and that's going to give us for line 3. Once we subtract line 2 from 1, it's going to give us 9,700. Okay, 9,700. All right, and then what we're going to do is for number 4, enter an estimate of your adjustments to income and any standard deductions. Usually that's going to be 0 for the average person, and then add lines 3 and 4. Again, you end up with 9,700 here. Okay, and then enter an estimate of your 2015 non-wage income. That's typically your interest and dividends. And if you don't have money invested anywhere, typically that number is going to be 0 because you're not earning anything. Okay, as far as interest and dividends are concerned. Okay, so you get to number 7, subtracts line 6 from 5, and you end up with 97 here. Okay, and divide the amount on line 7 by 4,000. So if you divide 9,700 by 4,000, that's going to give you somewhere in the neighborhood of about 2.5. We're going to round this up. Okay, 2.5. We're going to round this up to 3. Okay, so we're going to basically claim 3 here. All right. So now you're going to add lines 8 and 9 into the total here. Okay. 8 and 9. Okay. And enter the number from your personal allowances worksheet line H from, remember I told you to remember that number 2 from the previous page. So you're going to put the 2 here. And so now you're going to end up with basically 5 as your new personal allowance. Okay, withholdings, allowance. So 5, right? So when you claim 5, right, that's going to change the amount of money that gets taken out of your check, and it's going to reduce it dramatically, right? So that you get more of your money into your checks every 2 weeks, or however often you get paid, and then we use that money then to be able to pay to sustain our businesses as well as keep a little extra cash in addition to that. Okay, and we're going to show you some simple little things to do with that money, right? I hope this helps. If you have questions, please ask. It's a very simple process to fill one of these things out. Get with the leader that you're working with, your sponsor, and they will be able to help you fill out one of these if you have a job, so that you can resubmit this to your employer and reduce the amount of money that's being taken out. Okay, that extra money that shows up in your paycheck is not for you to spend. Is basically there for you to be able to fund your business and keep it active. And there should be enough there to be able to do that for most people. If you fall a little bit short, so be it. It's probably because you're just not making as much money, so they're not taking as much out, right? Okay, but this is a great way to be able to get your business started and get it going in the right direction. Also, this is going to teach you how to document some things and keep your tax deductions in order, so that you'll have the documentation at the end of the year when you file for your income taxes. I hope this helps. This is the first part that you do to be able to get your process started of getting more money into your checks. And if you have any questions, again, get with your leader, your sponsor, and they'll be able to answer it for you. All right. Hope you guys have a great day. This is TJ.